Best part of our show is usually in the spot breaks. We get down to the truth, don't we?
That's right. Yeah, you can find out a lot that way.
Oh, man. In high school sports, it used to be so simple. We just talked about the sports.
Yeah.
What's coming on. Nowadays, there's so many sideline things that it's amazing.
Even, probably even 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that there wasn't never any transfers or anything like that, but, I mean, you pretty much knew who was going to be on the team every year because the juniors became seniors, sophomores became juniors. You knew who was going to be there.
And the only way you saw new kids is like the kid that went to Hononegah. What was his name?
Martin.
Martin.
Alex Martin,
because he moved into town.
Right, yeah, that was the kind of stuff they had.
Yeah, or a really good kid would move out because his dad got transferred.
Right, exactly.
Now it's like, get the bus ready. We're going to go all across town.
Right, yeah, you bring all the rosters for every team from the year before, and then you try to figure out at the games who's where now. Like, I think this is the kid that was over here last year. And
yeah, even coaches.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's kind of like sometimes you go to a game and go, that's how it happened with Croft.
Yeah.
One dad goes and says, that kid's really good. And then all of a sudden, oh, yeah, he started at Lutheran last year. I'm going, you're kidding me. You remember that?
I do remember that, but that's the way that stuff works out a lot of times is, you're just watching and you're like, wow, man.
Where'd he come from?
I don't remember this kid from last year. Yeah, because he wasn't here. Oh.
Yeah.
Or you see the kid that you do remember that you didn't hear that transferred, and all of a sudden you're like, wait, isn't that from this school last year? They're like, yeah, that's him. Oh, all right.
And it's just, and we both get grief because even if you report the facts and give everything that you got, you're going to make somebody upset, and that's not the cause of it. I'm just the kind that if I'm out there and I see a kid starting for another team and came from another school, I want to know how he got there and what the reason was.
Yeah, exactly. It's I don't know.
We could have a whole show. We could have a whole separate show on that stuff.
Especially if we could tell the stories that we've heard along the way. But
oh my gosh, I don't think we can do that yet.
Right? Yeah, that's a big thing though. Is it happens? Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to tell the truth. Oh no, he's not going to be here, and then he's there the first game, and or the first day of school or whatever it is. And
when it shows up on a national media site about something, and then you ask somebody about it, and they say, oh, no, that you guys are always trying to look for something.
Right.
And then it happens.
The
first thing I do is get on my little messenger or my little email and say, wait a minute here.
Right.
I gave you the benefit of the doubt. I wish you would have gave me the benefit.
Exactly.
If you don't want me to say nothing right away, I won't.
Right, yeah, that's,
but sooner or later it's going to come out.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to come out one way or the other. But, you can always say, but, don't talk about it right now. They don't pay us enough here to,
They don't pay me
to upset the coaches and things.
No.
Just say, hey, you know what happened, but just don't tell
lie
anybody.
To me.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what happens so much. But that's where we've talked so many times about eliminating the transfer rules, and
completely.
I think it would help with some of that stuff because I think what you get happening a lot of the times is two things. Number one, they're probably trying to still vet the process to make sure everything's going to go okay, and number two, they don't want to alert anybody because they don't want them to start calling the state and say, hey, player X is over here now and we're not happy about that. You need to look into this. And
if you call and complain, they'll look into it.
Exactly. So I think that's what it is they're trying to keep everything,
There's too many agreements going on, though, now.
Oh, I know.
Well, maybe next time we'll get one of your kids and then you don't complain or something.
Well, that's most of the coaches. I know that there are some coaches that complain out there, but most of them stay away from it because they could be the benefit the next time around, I mean, I lost a player over here, or
pick your battle.
This good player is going to my rival, but you know what? In 2 months I might be getting somebody coming in, so I'm not going to say anything about it.
I told Pam the other night, I says, these people get mad at me. If they wouldn't do this stuff, they wouldn't get mad at me.
Right.
So we're trying to be fair. I try to be fair. You try to be fair, but it's so rattled up.
And of course, we're arguing from our end, but how can you get mad that we found something out that's true?
It's one of those things like the elephant in the room. Everybody knows about it, but nobody talks about it.
But you can't talk about it, and if you point it out, then they're going to get upset at you. Like, hey, you're not
I'm sure this will get everybody mad, but that's the way it is, and it's getting to be regular.
It is. But like I said, I think there's so many behind the scene things, not wanting to alert people to the move, that kind of, because they don't want to. If you call halfway through the season that's when people start to realize what's going on. Well, guess what? We can probably finish out the season now, and maybe player X gets suspended for the next sport, and it doesn't have to affect my season.
Like the two
right?
Kids. the kids that came in from out of the country.
They got suspended for volleyball. And
so we'll take care of you in this sport.
We'll let you play all year, but, now we're going to...
I did have a couple of administrators and stuff bring a good point up. The IHSA is supposed to be run by the principals.
Right.
They could stop this.
They could very easily.
They could try to fix it. So sometimes when I give the IHSA a tough time, they're supposed to be the ones that control this stuff.
Right.
But it's not just here. It's every state in the union's like that.
The IHSA is kind of the administrator. They're the ones that kind of execute that kind of things. But at the end of the day, it is the principals that are in charge. And they could very easily say, and here's the thing, and it's starting to get to the same point it is at the college level. Yeah. When you look at these athletes, in college, they try to hide behind the student athletes so much. It's student athlete. How many of those kids that are playing in college are really there for the student part?
It's the money.
A lot of them are there for the athletic part. Now there are some that are taking advantage of that and getting a good education and going on. And hey, that's great for those kids. But for the ones that aren't, why is there... why do we hide behind the student part of it? If that's not what they're really there for. The guy, the NBA player, or, the basketball player who's going to college for a year, probably not even going to class in the second semester.
Because he can't go to the NBA right away.
Exactly. Is he really a student athlete? No, he's an athlete that has to pretend to be a student for
Simmons didn't even qualify for the second semester, did he? Because he was up for an award, but it included academics, and he wouldn't have qualified.
And that's the thing, because they always suspend you for the following year or the following semester, whatever. So a lot of these guys that are going to be the one and done, like a Simmons, they'll go to class for the first semester, stay eligible, but then they don't go at all the second semester.
And they usually drop out.
Because it doesn't matter, and then they'll drop out as soon as the season's done and be done. And, and you're starting to see the same thing in high school. I mean, not saying that these kids don't work hard on their grades and things like that, and certainly the parents want them to do all those things. But, when you look at these kids, transferring to different schools and whatnot, how many of them are necessarily transferring for educational purposes? Yes, you'll get your ones like a Marcus Posley who needed
and he had to sit out. He never even complained about it. Who
needed a credit to make sure he could qualify for a college, So, I'm not saying that kind of stuff doesn't happen, but how many of them are really moving for educational purposes, and how many of them are really moving for athletic purposes, But that's what they try to hide behind is, again, this whole student thing and whatnot. And it's like, no, they're there for sports, and if that's what's going to keep them in school and maybe make them work hard in school, then you know what? Let them play. If that's what's keeping them engaged, let them continue.
And, we talked about, they try to hide that so the IHSA doesn't find out about it.
Right.
If you're trying to hide it, there's a reason that...
Yep.
If there wasn't a reason, why would you try to hide it?
Exactly. Well, although some of it, too, it's not that they're trying to do anything underhanded necessarily. They just, again, they don't want somebody to complain because there might be something that could cause it to...
There's a lot of flinching going on.
Yeah.
Can we do this under the radar for just a little while longer?
Uh-huh.
So we're probably going to hear about it. I hope you all love us, coaches, because we love you. We know there's a lot of pressure on everybody, kids included, parents.
Yep.
But the IHSA could clear up a lot of that junk.
Yes,
and then we wouldn't have, if it was legal, it'd be fine.
Just let them do what they want.
Yeah. Hey,